Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm playing with texture. I've been away for a little bit, but I'm back, and so I'm also going to play with my Counterfeit Kit challenge. And Queen Purge is going on for Counterfeit Kit, and so I used wood veneer, an embossing folder, washi tape, buttons, and flowers this time, and I'm going to do this picture of my daughters and my husband. And I'm going to use some stuff that I did off screen. So I used this Spellbinders cutting die that does all that pink cardstock that's in the middle there. I also embossed two white pieces of paper with this classic backdrop, and both of the classic backdrop and my wax that I'm showing you right now and the wax seals, I don't know what they're called. The wax seal, the actual dauber thingy. That's such a technical word. Those are from Spellbinders Kit of the Month. And then the twine one that I have is just from Spellbinders. And so this piece of paper is from Hip Kit Club. And so I had this idea in my head of what I wanted to do with a picture and just like a 3-0 there. And I was thinking something like this when I ordered this whatchamacallit, this dye that I'm using. And so I'm getting ready to do some of the wax, and so I used 3 beads of the coral that came with one of these wax seals and my little electric kit I got from Amazon. And so I'm just using my cutting mat. I do have a silicone mat somewhere, and I need to find that because I think that would work a little bit better, but this is going to work okay today. And so I didn't quite get that centered, and so I didn't really like how it was going on that one, so I decided to do another one right away. And those 3 have already heated up, which was quite quick, and then I'm just going to center that a little bit better. So I'm pouring them in a circle because I want my wax seal to be circular, because that's what the seal is. If I wanted, I'm going to use an oval here in a minute, and with the oval I would use the oval shape when I pour it. And so as I go on, it's harder to get off of this, so that's why I think the silicone would work better. But 3 more in there. And so I already adhered that twine piece on the one side, and I'm going to do the exact same on this side. So I'm just going to glue it together. I'm not going to make you watch all of the gluing process and that kind of thing. I am going to use this seal. The one that I have on my page already says "Love you to the moon and back," and the other one is, I think they're irises, some sort of flowers. So I get my flower bit. So I thought maybe I'd do it like that, but I didn't like it, the repeat of it, and so that's okay. And then that's not quite melted, so this time it took a little longer. I'm going to just trim this off a little bit because my cutter didn't cut it very well. Sometimes it just doesn't. I don't know why. Maybe these were, when I do my embossing folders, I do spray down my paper so it gets a better impression. So probably part of that. So, and then getting this, didn't actually glue very well, and my fine tip for my Nuvo is not working so well, so I have to take the lid off, and the glue today. And here I go with the oval shape because I'm going to use the oval, and then just let that sit and set up. And then I decided maybe I'll rough up these edges, and so I did a little bit of that. And then I decided my picture needs to pop a little bit more, so I'm going to just mat it in black. And so I start with about, I think it's about a quarter of an inch, maybe an eighth of an inch. I think that's an eighth of an inch all the way around. And then I decide later that it's a little too much. I did play with putting some of the chick bark on here. I also have a page that I did a little bit ago, because it should have been up not last Friday, but the Friday before, but it just hasn't gotten there yet. So hopefully I can get it up for tomorrow. But that's all this stuff on the side here because I did it first. And so I'm going to try and use wood veneer. I tried to use some of this chipboard. The chipboard is not going to get on. I thought about using some of this acetate, but this is going to go in my oldest album, and she doesn't really get the dragonflies on her. She gets the butterflies, and I wanted to keep the top more pink with just a touch of blue, and the dragonfly would have worked, but meh. And then I decided to take this pink, is Tattered Rose, I think, and I'm just dabbing and smearing the ink across to add just a bit more pink. I could have left it a little more subtle, but I decided I wanted a little more. So they're both girls, so the pink works. So yeah. Anyways, so I did go over across the twine paper pieces too, just to add a little more texture to them as well. And then this is when I decide to just trim off just a little bit more. So I think it ends up being probably about 1/8 of an inch around, just to give it a little bit of a pop. And then for a second there, I thought maybe on the flowers, but nope. I definitely like the contrast of the blue and the stars, and it just, for me, I think it works for a baby picture. So, and the blue and the pink matches what my oldest is wearing, and I thought, why not? She's got like unicorns and all princesses and all sorts of stuff on her jammies there. They were pretty cute. They both wore them and loved them, and they were like a hand-me-down, so that was perfect. So I'm just trying to get these a little bit centered, a little bit so that they're the same distance away from the edge on each side. They don't have to be perfect, but I did want them similar. And then I'm still trying this chipboard. I do like that wood veneer there, so it's going to stay. Then I tried other wood veneer, but I like the circle bit, but it's just scale wise, that one's too big. So then I decide I'm going to glue this on. So I'm just going to dab a good bit of Nuvo on there. I'm going to put these back on because they're weighted and I don't want to smush them. I don't think they'd smush, but I didn't want them to scratch or smush, so putting them back on. And then they're already dry. So, or dryish. I think the circle, the oval's definitely dry. I don't think the circle stayed very nicely to start with, but that's okay. Committing to that wood veneer heart, deciding, nope, I don't want that one. Putting my lid back on my Nuvo because I'm having a hard enough time. And then I remembered I have these 49 in Market washies. And so I'm going to use these washi stickers and get 2 butterflies on there in the pink. And I like that a lot. And then I do want some more wood veneer. So I pulled out this one and I found these couple buttons. I thought about the star. The star could have been fine, but I found some words instead. So this today I thought about for a second, and then I thought about that one, and then I find this one which says love this, and it has a little bit more of that darker wood, which matches with the circle and the couple buttons I pulled out. So, and then I decided I want a tiny bit of blue up on the top there, but only a tiny bit. So I grabbed this thread, and so I'm going to wrap the thread around the love this to mimic that circle bit. I'm going to feed very difficultly because I cut the thread too small to start with, the thread through the button, and this one I'm just going to tie in a knot. I thought about tying it in a bow, but it's too short. So this one's just going to be a knot because that's what it is, because it's too short. So I'm just going to trim them off to be a little bit shorter, and that works out really well. And I'm going to try and use my fine tip in it. Still is not unclogged. I've taken a needle and a pin to it I don't know how many times. So, I don't know. And so here's the pin again, and I'm just going to use it to dab some glue on my thread so the thread stays in place, and then I just smeared it across the wood veneer. I think the wood veneer it's either from Studio Calico or Ellie Edwards. I've had them forever. The buttons are just random, but I think the heart is from one of those two companies too. It's been years and years since I've had subscriptions to either one of those, so it is definitely using my stash. And then for the second one, I definitely left the threads long enough. Oh, that was hard to come out. So that I could tie a bow on this side, and then I can trim off the edges, fiddle with the bow piece so that I have it the right size. I'm going to put a pile of glue on the back, and then I will dab a little bit of glue on that front knot after I get it all situated how I want it to secure the knot. And then I thought maybe another wrap of thread on this side, but I didn't like it around the button, and that heart is already on. If the heart wasn't on, I probably would have put it off center underneath the heart, but I didn't like it on top, and I didn't want to risk ripping it off because it wasn't that important. So I'm just gonna put some foam underneath to give some dimension to my photo. And this I do want straight and centered, so I'm going to use my T-square, and I'm almost done here. So just making sure things are, there you go with the glue, and think about it for a second, and I am finished. So it's a pretty simple layout, but I like how pretty it is. There are some close-ups here so you can see definitely how those two embellishment clusters look, and I really like that. And then a little bit close up, and then the whole page all together. I really appreciate you being here today. If you liked my video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you're new to me, I would love to have you here. And again, thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day.